Okay, so this evening I'm working on a Ferrari from 1967, a 275 GTB4, so the later 4-can variation. The car's just been washed outside, now it's come back inside for further detailing to commence. One thing I like to tackle nice and early on in the detail is actually doing the tyres. Seems a bit strange, but bear with me. These old school Michelin big chunky tyres that put down the power from the big V12 that hangs out over the front end have been mistreated in the past. We've got browning, we've got shades of blue and green from all like the old oily dressings that have been put on in the past. What we want to do is thoroughly deep clean that, bring it back to that bare rubber that we need, and then we can lay down some future tyre dressings. Two products that we need. We need a tyre and glue remover, and we need a high quality tyre dressing that's not heavy in silicones or heavy in oils. As many of you may now know, I work for Finesse, so I've been using their products for years anyway, so it's not like I now work for them and now brand heavy with them. I always have been, you guys know that. So to start, take some tyre and glue remover, that one there is ObliTARate in a pro bottle, and then take an old microfiber and sort of start just scrubbing away at it. There's no real art to it, but it's a case of actually allow the microfiber to do the work. The microfiber will be able to get into the small little detailed areas of the tyre, right, in bits and pieces like that. Let me move that tyre dressing, and we can now see that grippy texture of that tyre, that bare rubber has now actually returned, which is what we want. If I do this other half, I'll now show you how dirty actually this microfiber becomes. And this is a case of, you don't have to do this because you own a Ferrari. You do this to be able to get the most out of the tyre dressing. Some people say that tyre dressings don't last particularly long, bits and pieces like that. Well, what's it being laid down onto? If we're using high quality tyre dressing, actually this tyre dressing was designed to lay down onto rubber and not into previous layers of tyre dressing that we don't know what they were, and they were oily and bits and pieces like that. So actually this is the last tyre I've done on the car. If we have a look at that side that I just used there, amazingly dirty. Let's unfold it. You can see that I've done all the other tyres as well. But now that tyre and glue remover's eaten into them old silicons and oils that were in the tyre, and now left us with a bare, clean, perfect slate now, so we can now build tyre dressing layers onto, and hence why I do this so early on in the detail. I'll put a layer of this on now, and then later on in the detail, once the paint's done, the wheels are detailed, bits and pieces like that, I can add a second layer for added protection on the tyre. Car doesn't get driven a whole lot, and it's actually going to sit in this collection probably quite still in the garage, so if we can get 2 layers on, that will help just nourish it over the years. So what we want to do now is take a layer of tyre cream. Like I say, you can tell how long I've had this bottle, it's absolutely battered. Nice quality tyre dressing, just a layer onto a sponge applicator, and it's just a case of come back and start working it into the tyre. And like I say, you don't have to have the fancy cars to do this. It's a case of do this to be able to actually achieve the best out of your products, and in this case it's the tyre dressing. What we'll get is the best looks now, we'll get the best durability, we'll get the best for the tyre and the rubber itself, ensuring longevity. And in my case on this vehicle, it's actually about making the vehicle look period correct. Some people like to put ceramic coatings on things and bits and pieces like that. An old 60s vehicle like this actually doesn't desire that. It needs a good layer of wax and a nice bit of tyre dressing. That old school detailing actually brings out the best in these cars, and that's what deep cleaning these tyres does. As we can see, nothing crazy. We've all seen tyre dressing applied before. Just massage it in and now we've got this nice satin sheen back to the tyre, and this can now sit in here. The tyres get rotated bits and pieces like that, but it can now sit in this collection with perfect tyres that will now complement the body once it's detailed, along with the wire wheels, bits and pieces like that. So a few hours ahead on this one, but the end result should be worth it, so I just thought I'd check in for a quick video on that. Be sure to share, like, comment, subscribe and all of them bits and pieces for some more detailing tips and tricks in the future. As always, really appreciate you guys tuning in for another episode. Cheers.